Hello Cancer, and welcome to your new moon lunar cycle insight video for the lunar cycle beginning with the Leo new moon solar eclipse on the 11th of August, which closes the Lion's Gate and eclipse season, and completes with the Virgo new moon on the 9th of September. This lunar cycle is what I have been calling the great unwinding, because many of the challenging energies that we've been dealing with begin to unravel this month as one by one the planets station direct and we move into some more earthy grounding energies, which gives us the opportunity to integrate all of the shifts that we have been going through over the past weeks and months. So for you, Cancer, this eclipse will highlight the energies of your second house, where Mercury, the messenger, is also currently retrograde. So this eclipse will set into motion a new wave of energy surrounding second house issues. The second house is Venus ruled, traditionally associated to the sign of Taurus. So we are looking at our physical resources, our money, our time, our gifts and talents, and we're also looking at issues around how we value ourselves and how we honor those blessings that we've been given in our lives. So this eclipse, we might find issues around these subjects starting to rise up. And some of you will have been feeling it already with Mercury retrograde there. You might have been finding that you've had to do some work to reorganize your finances and really look at how you are utilizing your time, energy and money. You might have been learning how to value yourself more, how to really honor the unique creative expression that you bring to this world. So as the new moon rises, we may see more issues, more thought patterns cropping up around these issues that we need to perhaps let go of. And this is a house that is also associated with stability and with security, Cancer. Taurus, like you, likes what is familiar, likes what is comfortable. So there may be some insecurities or some fears arising around lack and survival issues at this time, and anything that arises is showing you where you are still limiting yourself, where you're still holding on to patterns of, oh, I'm not good enough, or you know, there is a limited supply of resources and I don't have access to what I need, or there's a limited supply of creativity and I don't have what I need. So just be aware of these things that may be rising up, and know that the reworking that you're doing at this time will begin to yield results after Mercury stations direct on the 19th of August. So as he stations direct, of course, things can start to move forward again, but it's important to bear in mind that the day that he stations, the 19th, there can be some very sticky and frustrating energy that usually moves around this period, because he's at his most potent when he's standing still, ready to change direction. So don't be alarmed if it doesn't start to smooth out as quickly as you might have envisioned. But also on this day, the 19th, we have Jupiter and Neptune coming into a beautiful trine in your 5th and 9th houses. So this is a beautiful flowing watery energy, and this can really bring forward for you some new creative inspirations. Maybe you will feel a deep connection to the universe, to the cosmos, that you can then channel into your creative endeavors. Perhaps some new ideas, some new inspirations will come to you around this time. And you know, also the 5th house is very much associated with romance. So there is the potential for some more loving energies to manifest around this time. It highlights that transit of Jupiter, which has been moving through your 6th house since late last year, well, autumn time last year, which is asking you to really learn how to love and approve of yourself fully, to not seek outside yourself for love, for affection, for confirmation of your gifts, but to know that you are worthy and what you have to express in the world is perfect just the way it is. So just after the new moon, on the 12th of August, Mars is going to slide back into Capricorn, or should I say blaze back into Capricorn, for about 3 or 4 weeks. He's going to be covering the ground that he was covering in May this year. So you may remember this period as being a period of change, upheaval, or unease in your relationships, as he came through your 7th house and he's colliding with Saturn, colliding with Pluto, colliding with Lilith, who were all also there at the time. And he's going to dip back into the final few degrees, the ones that he was moving over between the 11th and 16th of May this year. And he's going to be asking you to revisit some of those issues. Perhaps there's something that still needs to be cleared up in your relationships. Perhaps there are still some boundaries that need to be set. Perhaps there's still some relationships that you need to assert yourself in. And he's going to be kind of digging up that old ground for a little while. And there is a huge focus on this house of relationship this month for you, Cancer, as Saturn will also be stationing direct here during this lunar cycle. So Mars will be lingering around there until the 10th of September, when he will move back into your 8th house, which is where he spent most of his retrograde period. And you know, we talked about this in previous videos. This is a very intense house for Mars to transit, and you've also had the node there, you've had the lunar eclipse there, you have had you know, Uranus squaring Mars from your 11th house while he's been transiting there. So it's been a pretty intense time. There might have been lots of old emotions rising to the surface, lots of things to be shared, to be let go of. Aquarius is the energy, you know, the Mars retrograde in Aquarius has been all about liberation. And the 8th house is the Scorpio house. It's the deep, dark depths of our soul. It's the things that we usually try to keep hidden. It's all of our fears, all of our issues around sexuality, intimacy. It's the deepest house of the birth chart, and it naturally rules over alchemy and rebirth. So these energies have been extra amplified for you during this time, Cancer. And as Mars comes back over, you'll slowly start to be able to reintegrate this area of your life, you know, calling back your power, really maybe looking at your desire from a new perspective, you know. If you don't have that deep soul connection, that intimacy in your relationships, if you don't feel able to go into the shadow spaces of your psyche, if you there may be some more work to do around that as Mars, you know, moves through this area of your birth chart again from the 10th of September onwards. So it's very much focused around relationship. You know, a lot of these lessons will be coming through your connections with other people, and particularly your intimate and sexual partnerships. So on the 23rd, the Sun is going to enter the sign of Virgo, which is your 3rd house, Cancer. And as the Sun moves into Virgo, he's going to make a beautiful grounding earth trine. So this is where we get that beautiful energy that I talked about. You know, it's that shift of energy from the fire, from the erraticness of Uranus and Aquarius, and into, okay, now I can ground. Now I can come back into myself. Now I can start to reorganize my life, to restructure my life, to accommodate the internal shifts and perhaps the external shifts that the eclipse season and the retrogrades have brought. So this trine will be taking place throughout your 3rd house, your 11th house, and your 7th house. So again, we see that house of partnership highlighted. And around this time, you know, just be aware that the social connections, you know, all of these houses are air houses. They're houses where we commune and connect with other people, where we're sociable, where we're sharing our thoughts and ideas, we're coming together in groups and circles, we're coming together in partnership. So there may be some opportunities for financial gain, or for creating more solidity and stability in your life that come through others. And as the sun really moves through the 3rd house up until we reach the equinox point, when it will switch into Libra on the 21st of September, this is generally a good time of year for you to commune, to connect, to network, and it can really bring up some issues around the throat chakra as well. It's the Gemini house that rules how we share our truth, either through spoken or written word, you know, how we teach, how we give to others through our voice. So this can be a time when you feel more able to do that, or perhaps, you know, it's that issue of boundaries that comes up again and you have to vocalize your truth. So that's a beautiful change in energy for us all, and much less chaotic than what we've been used to recently. On the 26th of September, we're going to come to the end of the month with a full moon, this time in Pisces, lighting up your 9th house of spirituality. So this is the house of higher wisdom, of connection to spirit, of the guru, of the teacher. Pisces is the sign of love and healing. So you may really feel around the time of this full moon, as the sun opposes the full moon from your 3rd house, that there needs to be a rewiring of your thoughts, of your belief systems in some way, and then you can go on and share what you've learnt to other people. Or perhaps there's just a divine inflow of energy and blessings and synchronicity and good luck that manifests around this time. This full moon will really be, you know, it will be the full moon following the final new moon eclipse. So it may be a time of profound release and, you know, deep emotional letting go as well, you know, for all of us. But for you, this is a very high vibrational spiritual energy, Cancer. So Mars will station direct on the 27th of August, and I've already mentioned that you know, he is working with those 7th and 8th houses for you guys. So just bear in mind that things can get quite testy in relationships around this time, and you know, particularly for you late born Cancers, there may be an opposition to your sun as well. So there may be some issues around anger that are arising at this time. On the 6th of September, Saturn will be stationing direct in the 7th house. So this is a long-term transit that began on the 21st of December last year. And Saturn in your opposing sign is asking you to decide which relationships, which connections you really, really want to commit to, and which perhaps aren't working for you, which need to be let go of. Saturn is the great realist, you know. Saturn is the cold, hard truth, you know, the harsh light of day. So whichever house he is transiting, he's making us face up to things. He's making us see the truth. He's making us face our own limitations. So perhaps with him moving direct, all the work you've been doing and all the reassessing you've been doing around your relationships can now start to be harvested. You know, there may be improvements, or you know, the amplification of energy in that 7th house at this time may mean that there are things that you have to let go of and people that you have to let go of, or maybe there's some things that you have to face about yourself, about the way that you act in relationships, because Cancer, you're such a private sign that sometimes your partner doesn't know how you're feeling. You know, it's hard for people to understand the deep emotions you have unless you explain them and you let yourself be vulnerable. So perhaps there's some lessons around that will arise this month as well. So there's a huge focus on seeing other people as mirrors, seeing relationships as a tool for evolution. And we're going to finish this lunar cycle with that new moon in the beautiful earthing sign of Virgo. Virgo the priestess, Virgo the grain mother. This is a time of setting into motion that which you really wish to be dedicated and devoted to. For the next 6 months, you know, we're done with one cycle. We're moving into another as we reach the equinox point. And this will be in your 3rd house. So again, you know, which connections do you wish to commit to? Which friendships do you want to cultivate? Do you want to give more time and energy to? Which thought patterns do you have that are serving you, which need to let go of? You know, is there some way that you want to use your voice more? You know, perhaps you want to start writing, perhaps you want to start sharing more things on social media. You know, this can be a house that's very connected with the internet as well, with Gemini, the sharing, the teaching of information. So think about what you wish to set in motion on a practical level at this time of the month, Cancer. So a very potent lunar cycle for you. Although the energies are calmer, there is still that element of intensity for you guys with the houses that the planets are moving through. And we know that you're sensitive souls who like harmony, who like things to be the same, and who like things to be, you like to feel secure. So don't be alarmed if there are changes happening that do call you into creating change, to going through transformations. It's very reflected in the cards that I've picked for you. These are from the Mythic Oracle deck, which works with the ancient Greek archetypes, very closely associated with astrology. And these are by Carissa Millardo, and the art is by Michelle Lee Phelan. And the ones that I pulled for you are Poseidon, Earth Shaker, and Hades, better known as Pluto. And the card is Death, which is very, very fitting because you have Mars going across that 8th house cusp again. And that is an energy that can trigger change through crisis. You know, if we have been keeping ourselves stuck, if you have been gripping on with your crab claws to situations that you know you need to let go of, then the universe is still going to ask you to change this month, Cancer. There is still going to be that element of needing to make the change, to free yourself, to move forward. And after the death, after the letting go, there is always rebirth. You know, there is always the alchemical energy of turning lead into gold. Whatever we let go of, whatever we surrender to the fires of transformation will be alchemized, and we will rise again like the phoenix. So be aware that there may be some unexpected situations that crop up again this month that force you out of your comfort zone, and be aware that that is perfectly natural. Life is an ongoing cycle of change, and if we don't willingly change, often the cosmos will force us to. So just trust and know that everything you let go of will be replaced with something that is more in alignment with your soul. And I also want to say that some of you, that some of you may be experiencing personal challenges from Saturn or Pluto as they move through your opposite sign of Capricorn, which can make this energy feel extra intense for you. If you are a early born Cancer, it's likely that Saturn is opposite your natal planets. If you have planets around the 19, 21, 20, 21 degrees of Cancer, Pluto will be working with you. So it's a good idea perhaps to check through your natal chart if you are experiencing a very tough time at this moment, Cancer, and just have a little look and see how you can work with the energies of these two celestial bodies if they are indeed creating oppositions to your personal planets. So I hope this reading has served you and will serve you well over the coming 4-week cycle. If you wish to connect with me further, you can check the links underneath this video, and you can also reach out to me for readings if you feel drawn to. I'm sending you so much love and so many blessings for this upcoming reintegration cycle.